Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Bill with Franklin Loan Center, and today I want to talk about the or the lack of affordability that is absolutely appears to be the driver and kind of the freeze that we're seeing in real estate, and it's just, I was listening to Barry Habib, who I've talked about a million times, the guy that's with MBS Highway yesterday was talking about, like, look, I mean, take a page out of the book of these big national builders. They sell more houses than anybody, and they don't negotiate at all on price in most cases. They use that as the last tool. The very first tool they use is to help negotiate the rate down, right? And then thus the payment coming down. So I just played with some numbers yesterday. I used I used $1.1 million purchase. And I assume 20% down. These numbers scale all over the place, right? But there's two different buy downs, of course, for the interest rate. So you can buy down you can do a temporary buy down or a permanent buy down to get that rate down. And then really the third thing that you can do is you can negotiate the price, right? So I just looked at, so roughly speaking, to do a temporary buy down. So what that is normally a 2-1 buy down. And the way it works is you get a 2% discount the first year, 2% discount in the rate the first year. The next rate, the next year, the rate goes up to just a 1% discount, and then the rest of the life of the loan, it's the full rate, right? I just use 7% just for the heck of it, just to create a baseline. And so in that scenario, again, it's roughly a 2%, 2% of the purchase price that you'd be asking for, right? And it's almost it's a little over $22,000 that it would cost the seller to pay for that, right? So $22,000, and that's a $22,000 direct savings in the payment. Brings that payment down. The first year brings it down over $1,000. The second year it brings it down about a little under $600. And then after that, you're good to go. That's the perfect option if you kind of like I am continuing to hope that rates will come down in the next couple of years, right? So a really nice savings, but over a short period of time. The next one is a permanent buy down. This is what a lot of builders are doing. I looked at using the same 2%. That would bring it down roughly 3/4, maybe 1% in the interest rate. That one would save close to $500 per month, and so still paying the full $1.1 million purchase, not negotiating that, instead negotiating the same 2% towards closing costs that we would use to buy down the rate. Saves about $500 a month. And then let's compare that to actually negotiating a 2% discount in the house price. So, again, instead of paying full price, just drop it down. Don't use anything towards buying down the rate or anything like that. That saved like $150 a month. And it's by far the smallest savings, right? And so from a pure payment perspective, and look, I'm here to acknowledge that's not the only thing, but if we're looking at, look, everybody's talking affordability, let's work on affordability. The right answer is definitely negotiating credits for a rate buy down over using that same exact amount of money to get a lower price for the house. Look, if payment doesn't matter, someone's got amazing cash flow, they're not worried about it, great. Take the discount and then hope hope that refi opportunity comes here at some point, right? But in the absence of that, it absolutely will make more sense to negotiate those credits and buy it down. Now there's limits on what you can get for different, how much in credits you can get, because the question would become, well, okay, what if we want to buy it down 2% or something like that? We got to have a conversation about that. Definitely reach out, because there's all sorts of different limitations for different programs on what you can get as far as maximum third-party contribution. So that's all I wanted to throw out there, guys. Just like, I know it's funny because on one hand, everyone wants to get the best price for the house, but on the other hand, they also want the best payment. Those two are, I think it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive until you actually see the numbers to realize that it probably makes sense to pay the full price for the house and take some credits so that we can buy down that rate, either temporarily or on a permanent basis. and then that will result in the lower payment. So just wanted to throw that out there. For any specific scenarios, please reach out to me. I can easily put this together. It'll shock most of you that actually know me, that I've built a spreadsheet. It's super easy. All I got to do is just plug in a purchase price and a down payment, and we can just kind of talk about the different scenarios. So that's it. I'm Bill. I'm with Franklin Loan Center, and I'll see y'all next week.